Welcome back to the channel. My name is Sarah. Let's talk about the past couple weeks. I have books I've read, and I have some books to haul. I haven't done like a book haul sort of content video thing on this channel, and I don't know how long, so we're gonna do that. Also, I'm wearing my new You Are Cursed Knoxville shirt. I went and saw WWE last Monday, the 11th. It was so much fun. Oh my gosh. We watch it as a family with my friends and stuff. We watch it on Netflix pretty regularly, and this was my first time seeing it live. It's a very different experience. Lots of fun people, lots of weird people, and the wrestling itself is different. Like the wrestlers work the crowds more. We don't have announcers, so it's like you're more engaged with the physicality of it. I don't know. I had a lot of fun. I highly recommend it if you are a fan to go see it live when you can. I know it's a little expensive because it was in Knoxville and we bought our tickets early. We got them fairly cheap, but it was a lot of fun. So that's what I did last weekend, and is part of the reason why I didn't have a Friday Reads last weekend. The other part was that I just simply didn't read anything that week to talk about. I think I had like one book to talk about, and I was almost done with another one. I finished it on the drive home from WWE. I was listening to it. I can't talk today. I was listening to it through audio, is what I was trying to say, in a dark car with a teenager and my child. We were crammed in the backseat of a car. We had just come from Buc-ee's, and I managed to finish it there. But that was Monday night. So, like, I didn't have a lot to talk about. I'm getting lost in the sauce. I need to stop talking. I don't remember where exactly I was at with everything. Anyway, I hadn't read a lot, so let's talk about what I read. Mainly the past week. I finished a bunch of things. I had a bunch of things going, and then I managed to finish them. So, we're going to start with, and let me double check myself here. I'm pretty sure we're going to start with the manga. Yes. I have 2 manga to talk about. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Did I talk about Morsel last week? I think I did. Just in case, I'm going to touch on it briefly and say I didn't care for it. Let me check my thumbnail from last week. Oh, I didn't. Okay. Alright, so according to that video description, I didn't talk about Morsel. So let's talk about that one real quick. So it's Morsel by Carter Keene. I kind of had high hopes for this one. I thought it would be like a folksy horror situation. And it had pitched in it like for fans of the Blair Witch Project, which I wouldn't consider myself a fan of that specific movie. I do like that like genre of horror movie, the few that I have watched. But this one, so like I'm gonna minorly spoil some of this. One of the only reason I actually can think that it is being compared to the Blair Witch Project is that there are very early in the novella, within the first like chapter or 2, she reaches this land that she's checking out for her job. I don't know that it's ever exactly clear what her job is, but she's like checking the land, the occupants, surveying it perhaps. And she gets to the allotment and she's getting ready to walk out on it, and there's a fence, a gate, and hanging on the gate are these little circles with X's or crosses in them, and that is repeated. We see those symbols hanging from trees repeatedly throughout the novella. Like, that's the only Blair Witchy thing in it. I didn't like this very much. It didn't have the folksy feel that I was looking for in a horror novel. I didn't care for the main character. On paper, the novel itself and the twist it contained should have worked wonderfully for me. Like, it had all the right pieces. It's just how they were put together didn't really work great. I didn't like there is a reveal at the end. We have absolutely no teasing or no like foreshadowing to it. It's just, this is the situation, and then abruptly we find out, oh, that's not the situation, this is the situation. And instead of feeling like a twist, it felt like oh, of course, okay, alright, I guess that makes sense. And it didn't hit at all for me. I also didn't particularly love just the inner monologue we were following. I think I can lump this together with another book that I read this past week, Love Galaxy. I didn't like this one and Morsel for the same reason, in that I really like competent main characters. That seems to be a thing for me. Like, I like to see competency. Competency? Clearly, I'm not competent. I can't even say the damn word. I like characters that are competent in what they're doing. They're not, and I've said it before, I don't like disaster characters. It's just, it doesn't work. It frustrates me. I am a do things sort of person. Even if I don't think it's going to work, I just do it anyway. In most cases, unless I'm in my head that day. But in general, I don't just wallow in things, right? I'm a productive individual, I like to think. So, like, disaster characters don't work for me. And this main character was a disaster character, quote unquote. Everything was against her. Everyone was wrong. I really did appreciate the, like, reflection and the look at poverty and what it does to a person and how you get stuck in a cycle. But her whole attitude, it felt so defeatist. It felt so lackluster. I don't know. I feel like I'm being harsh. I didn't love it. There's that. Moving on. Let's talk about the 2 manga I read this week. So I did finally get volume 15 of Spy Family. I absolutely love this series. You're not really going to get a biased opinion from me on this because I adore Spy Family. I do. The first chunk of Spy Family is very light and fluffy and filler, but I can't speak well today. In the last few volumes, we've been getting a lot of character development and character history and stuff. Especially here, we got the conclusion to Mr. Henderson and Margaret. I believe that was her name. Martha's story. So there's young Martha, and then that's older Martha here. If you've read the early volumes of this, Martha is Anya's friend Becky's dance instructor. She gets a lot more page time, and we find out her history with the Mr. Henderson at the school, the one who has the big long beard and he must be elegant, that guy. Absolutely wonderful story. It takes a very clear, like, anti-war stance. I really liked it. I continue to love Spy Family. If you don't know what it is about a family that is forced together a spy for, I can never remember if he's for the East or the West. He is meant to spy on the opposing side, and to do that he has to take a cover position as a family man. He makes a deal with a woman. She marries him. She needs a husband for reasons. He doesn't know that she's a master assassin. She doesn't know that he's a master spy. And the two of them adopt a little girl. The twist is that the little girl is telepathic and can read minds and knows one's a master spy, one's an assassin, and they don't know that she can read their minds. And eventually they get a dog who can kind of sort of tell the future. And the only one that can understand him is the little girl. Her name is Anya, and it's their hijinks, and it's very good. It's fantastic. I love it. I'm hoping we get to see more of Yor. We haven't seen Yor really pop off. That's the mother in a while. So maybe the next little arc we'll get some more Yor action. The other manga, I started a new series, and that is Exotic Animal Doctor. This is by Kano Ninomiya. I guess I didn't know, but I am pleased that this is like a whole genre in manga, that this, like, animal pet doctor vet thing is, like, Dinosaur Sanctuary is one of my top series that I follow right now. I pre-order those. I love those. I didn't know there were other things like that, and this just came out, and I think this might be like a whole thing where you can follow like vets and stuff in different stories. This is about, and I think his name is Kano. He is a vet's assistant, and he wants to be just a veterinarian, but he has developed an allergy to dogs, and maybe cats as well, but it's definitely dogs. So at his current vet job, he is relegated to basically fetching things from the supply room, gathering things for surgeries. He doesn't really get to work with the animals. And then he ends up getting fired. He loses his job, and he needs to find another one. So he takes a job. He applies for and takes a job at an exotic animal doctor. He doesn't know anything about exotic pets, but he takes his job because it's better than nothing, right? It's in his field. It may not be dogs and cats, but it's pets. So he takes it, and it is his, like, getting used to and learning how to operate on things like rabbits. They go out and they visit a guy who's keeping a caiman. There was a rabbit, a caiman. They looked at a snake. He learned to feed a gecko. Like, it was fantastic. I really liked this. I also really liked the little bits of interesting information we got about the exotic pet industry in Japan and the statistics around, like, exotic pet ownership. Not a lot of people have exotic pets, but a lot of people who do are passionate about it, and how hard it is to find a veterinarian, that sort of thing. I just loved it. The artwork is also fantastic. The opening story, he is helping her deal with an emergency with a house that's caught on fire, and the owners of the house own a lot of exotic pets, and they're, like, right down the street from the vet's office on purpose, so they could be close to a vet who handles exotic pets. And one of the pets that he helps them care for is a turtle whose shell has been busted. It fell on on trying to get out of the house that was on fire. And we learned about basically how they seal up those wounds on the turtle shells. It was absolutely fascinating. Something I'd seen before. There we go. The turtle is wounded here, and then they patch him up. He's okay. It's interesting, and you can tell that the author did some research, or either did a bunch of research, or has, like, experience or knows someone in the field. It was really good. So the other three, let's double check myself. We're gonna talk about Love Galaxy next because I did already mention it. Oh no, there was 4. I forgot about that one. And that one. Okay. So Love Galaxy was fine. Full honesty, this is going to the used bookstore. I'm going to put it in my bag after this. I didn't love this. And this is the story of what is her name? Temmie? She is a trash collector on this back-end planet that has been mined to the ground. Literally, the planet has pretty much been destroyed because it has a really rare, powerful substance on it. And she is also trapped in a cycle of poverty. She messed up, her dad ran off, and then her mother and her brother can't work, and she hasn't been able to pull them out of this position they're in. And her mom has a lot of medical issues. So she is attempting to pull them out of poverty, and she is meant to be this, like, tech genius. She's meant to be incredibly intelligent, and she has this new invention that she's going to get on market, and it's going to save their lives, so on and so forth. It doesn't work out that way, and she ends up getting cast on this show called Love Galaxy, where the empire of humanity that's in space, they call themselves the Empire. Don't look hard at this plot, by the way, or you're going to be like, that doesn't make sense. The emperor or empress, whoever it is at the time, their children, before they rule the galaxy, have to select their spouse from this show called Love Galaxy. They select the next co-ruler of the galaxy from a romance show, Bachelor style. Okay, in my defense, I knew that I probably wasn't going to like it, but I read the first chapter and I was like, okay, this could be funny. Maybe it doesn't take itself too seriously. Maybe it's more comedic or satirical. This could be, it's not. This is taking itself very seriously. Timmy gets on this show, and she goes from within the first couple pages being someone we can somewhat see as being, like, competent and successful at what she's going to do. Maybe she's smart and has a head on her shoulders. She is the wettest of blankets. I did not like her. And this also does a thing that I have read once before in a sapphic romance, where the female romantic interest is so toxic and off-putting that I'm like, why are we even considering this? What was the other? Was that called The Gilded Crown or something? It was a romantasy, and I absolutely hated it. I found this female love interest so awful. She was selfish, and she was immature. She was so self-centered. I could not get over. I couldn't stand her. Hold on, let me turn my volume down. This one didn't work. Okay, it didn't work. It's unfortunate, but these things happen. I could see this maybe working for someone who gets along better with this particular type of book. If you can read this sort of thing without seeing the plot holes, if you don't mind a toxic romantic interest, maybe, I will also add that there is a intense pacing issue. The first 60% of this, 50% of this, it's pretty slow. It's just her getting on the show and meeting all these people, and you spend the whole time like pointing me and like, that's this person, that's that person. And then it becomes this like thriller. Oh my God, somebody died. Oh no, somebody else has died. Who's killing people? Oh, I bet it's our main character. Let's blame them. Predictable sort of thing, and it becomes trying to fix and or change that. To each their own. To not for me. Not for me. Not for me. I'm telling you, I couldn't get over the female love interest. Like what? I felt so bad for her brother. That poor guy. Oh my gosh. Didn't like that one. Didn't like that one at all. You know what? Let's go ahead and talk about the other book I didn't like. Just getting the stinkers out the way first. I'm not even going to talk about this one for very long. The Hemlock Queen by Hannah Whitten. This is the follow-up to The Foxglove King, which, by the way, my Fairy Loot edition of this is on sale on my Pango bookstore if you would like to buy that. I just took The Hemlock Queen itself to the used bookstore today. This is a no-go for me. Absolutely not. I'm not continuing this story. This took the spunky, interesting characters from the first book that I really liked, and watered them down to, oh no, I love him. Oh no, I love him. Oh no, maybe they like each other. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. And then the one guy is constantly referred to and his one eye, and the other guy is just brooding. It's not him, but he's brooding. That was it. That's all I got. The city stopped being interesting. It became a prop, and I didn't like it. I can't recommend it. I really liked the Foxglove King, but the Hemlock Queen is gonna be a miss. Also, it does a thing where it's like, oh no, you know what? I'm not. Read some good reviews before you read it, and if you don't like reincarnation tropes, maybe don't read this one. We'll just leave it at that. Moving on to things I did like. I did finish A Love Story from the End of the World. I enjoyed this. This is a collection of love stories set in both mainly dystopic, one or two more utopic leaning futures. And it was just very interesting to read these ideas. There's nothing super intensely science fiction about these stories, but it does kind of look at the ideas and the possibilities moving forward. I really enjoyed the last story, which is the title story, and it's about researchers trapped on an island and this woman's attempts to help this baby polar bear. So it's things like that, and how people interact with the world in the future, what we look for in these dystopic futures where maybe we've lost something, we've lost access to sunlight or plants or something. It was an interesting read. These stories are ones that made me think. I don't know if I will reread them. I might. I'm going to keep this for now on my shelves and revisit it and see what I think. So I'm on the fence with this one. I liked it, but I didn't absolutely adore it. So there's that. If you like these sort of... This is the first line of the summary, and I think it sums it up. This vivid and transportive collection explores what it means to live as human inhabitants on our one miraculous planet. There's one where people are in a biodome and what they're missing out on. There's one where people are trapped on this massive ark, and is this truly how humanity is supposed to live? Things like that. And I like that sort of thing. I struggle to read climate fiction, and this had a touch of that, but it's more of looking at like what the earth might be like in the end in these situations and how humanity finds some hope or some peace in that. Does that make sense? Now let's talk about the two things that I really did like. Before we get to the physical one, I finished The Republic of Memory by Mohammed El Said. I loved this. This was really good. I really, really want to read the sequel. It's not out yet. This one just came out. This is about a generation ship called the Serafina. I had to look. I keep wanting to call it the Sophia. It's the Serafina. When this generation ship set out from Earth, Earth was fine, and there was an AI piloting this ship. Well, something catastrophic happened on Earth, and the AI wanted to abandon their journey and go back to Earth to upload and attempt to help the remaining people on Earth. But the people on the generation ship did not want to do this, so they staged a revolt. They ripped the AI out of everything they believed, and they took over. And since then, this generation ship has been flying on its way to this planet that they're meant to colonize. The way it works is that there is a group of people, they call them the ancestors. They are the original crew. They are in stasis on the ship. They're in like frozen chambers. And their descendants are the people who live and work on the ship. And the ship is divided into berths, into sections based on language as opposed to nationality or religion. The idea behind that is you can always learn a new language. So supposedly this is not supposed to keep the ship stratified as much. But humanity being what it is, it does end up that everything is stratified. People are falling hard into the language like lines. Religion does end up taking a hold of it. You have people who are Buddhist, you have the people who are Christian, you have the I've lost it. You have the Muslims, you have all kinds of different religions, and because they're so closely tied to their language, and language is so closely tied to these religions, we do have a stratified, a divided ship. Our characters, we have a wide cast of point of view characters in this. The first character that we follow is a interpreter. Now he is working for admin. That means that he works for the administration level of the ship, doing paperwork and stuff. They handle like the government level things, and as a translator, he's the one that works between berths, between like city areas of the ships, because he can speak multiple languages. We also follow his little sister, who is getting caught up in a rebellion. There is rebellion brewing on the ship because of this classist situation. People are wanting to overthrow the admin and do something about the ancestors. Either, shoot them all out, get rid of them, or wake them up and make them work. And then we have this inkling that something else is going on, right? There is this hint, this growing, maybe the AI is not completely gone, and that really comes in the second half. And we get a lot of point of view characters. We get it from the good guys, the bad guys, all of them, and it is the ship teetering on and then falling into rebellion. And at the end, we see that there is a lot more going on, and it is really, really good. It does a thing I like. Not only does it have multiple points of view, and very well done multiple points of view, which is something I enjoy, but it has in certain points of view, it has a very thick dialect and made up language. I love that. I love any kind of a rich dialect in a novel, be it one that's real or made up, and this does it very well. I really enjoyed the dialect that he created for this. It was fantastic. I will most definitely be continuing in this series. I want to get my own copy of this one. I think the cover is really cool. It was really good. I really do recommend it. My only complaint is that the pacing was not quite perfect. There is another book with this, an abrupt shift in perspective at the midway point. Something happens to our translator and we get a different primary point of view, and it's a bit of a jump, but I still really liked it, and I can't wait to get more information. The teases we had at the end of the book really had me excited. And so the last thing, my favorite book that I've read in the past couple weeks is The Red Winter by Cameron Sullivan. I almost said Miles Cameron again. Cameron Sullivan. This is about Sebastian. Talk about competency porn. I said it that time. This gentleman knows what he's doing. This is told in 3 timelines. 2 of the timelines are narrated by Sebastian. One of which we only get at the beginning and the end. You get his input in footnotes and stuff as well. He finds some old books in his attic that remind him of the story of, what was the town's name called? I listened to this on audio. Gévaudan. It reminds him of his experience in Gévaudan. I don't think I'm saying that right, but it's okay. And so we get this historical story of the Red Winter. So he's telling us the story of the Red Winter's return. And then we also get the Red Winter's original appearance, what it was, why it happened. And then past that, we also get his assistant Lillian. She's hilarious. She tells the story of Joan of Arc, and how she ties into this. This is a historical fantasy story. It's so good. I cannot recommend this enough. I can't believe more people aren't reading this. It is queer. Sebastian swings either way, and he does experience a love story in this. Don't look for a happily ever after. The ending of this is so bittersweet and just, it's like a gut punch, my guys. Gut punch. This book is beautiful. It made me laugh. It made me tear up. It made me go, what am I listening to? Like, all of the most fantastical things are here. This was wonderful. I have the Aardvark edition, which I do quite really like. I loved this so much, I genuinely am considering trying to get my hands on the special edition that Tor put out because, oh, this is really good. This is really good. I cannot believe, I think this is a debut, and I absolutely cannot believe that. Surely not. Surely not. It's so good. I want more. I specifically want more with Sebastian. I want to know what's going on. How he has a voice in the head, so if you like that trope, you have a voice in the head trope. There's footnotes if you like footnotes. Just, I cannot talk about this. It's so good. But just be aware, I know that some people do not like shifting timelines when we go back and forth in time. Be aware that it does that. If you like a well done audiobook too, I cannot recommend the audiobook for this enough. I found it fantastic. The audiobook narrators were incredible. Absolutely gifted individuals. Their voices were so good. And the way they were able to change their voices to match different characters, impressive. My guys, impressive. So 5 out of 5, all of the stars, best book of the past few weeks. Now, I wanted to do a tiny book haul because we just got back, one moment, from the used bookstore. Ouch! And I got a bag of books for like 65 cents. I took a bunch of books. So, like, girl math, I know it wasn't actually 65 cents, but I'm going to show you what I got because I'm fairly excited. And I have a few other things I thought I would mention. My daughter did pick out a book. Her and my husband went upstairs and we're just reading in the children's books while I was looking around. So, we'll start with these two. I got 2 old fantasy novels. I have been wanting to get these editions of The Wayfarer Redemption. This series, I read this in high school. I know it's not like the best series ever. It gets really weird later on, but I really want to get nice copies of these because I loved these as a kid. I don't know if you can really see it because it's very shiny. This is Louis Royo, I believe, is the artist on this, and I absolutely adore his artwork. So I found a very nice hardcover, and it's got a plastic case on it. $5. And then I also got another $5 old fantasy. Don't think I've ever heard of this, by Cheryl J. Franklin. Tales of Towerman? I'm not sure. Tormund. That's not an H, that's an A. The font choice is something. This is an omnibus of, I think, Fire Get and Fire Lord. Yes, Fire Get and Fire Lord, and then the last one is Fire Crossing. I guess I'll have to look for that, but this is the first 2 novels in this series, and it is about a young child of wizard raised around ordinary mortals, and then also a Lady Rihanna and a Lord Vancaril, and it's about these people who live in this land that was ruled by mages. The mages have disappeared, and it's these 3 people coming together. Evidently there's some new magic appearing. It sounded interesting. I flipped to a random page. I used to do this as a kid. I flipped through a random page and just started reading, and immediately I was like, oh, I got to read about her telling a guy off. How can I say no to that? Then I had to look. Found volumes 4, 5, and 6. Not 4, 5, and 6. 5, 6, and 7. Ta-da! Of Naruto. Each of these were $5. So I'm getting that because that is less than half price these days. So I have those. I will be reading those very soon. And then I also got... So I have read the first Reincarnated as a Sword. Now, hold on. There it is. I read the first Reincarnated as a Sword with one of my besties back when they first started coming out. This is the light novel. We read the light novel and liked it, but we ended up actually just following through with the manga and reading it. Well, I saw the light novel there. I saw the first one, and then the next 3. So I have 2, 3, and 4 here. And I do believe that I know what is going up to this volume, but I have no idea what's going on in this volume. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reread the first one and then continue on to the next few. And that should be fun. And that's everything I got at the used bookstore, which worked out really well for me. I will add, I did also get Yesteryear. I ordered this one for Caro Claire Burke because I really want to read this. This is about a trad wife who is transported back in time to a actual historical period where she has made this social media empire, being this intense trad wife, way back in the day, following these rules and these. Anyway, you know what I'm trying to say. There's somebody milking a cow. She gets stuck back in this older timeline, and she has to figure out how to survive without everything she's done and with her family. And it's basically, she is completely unlikable from everything I have heard and read. Like, this is not, you don't read this for the characters because they're all terrible. So I'm ready and willing for that. But I did get the British copy, the UK edition, because it's much prettier. I'm very excited for that. I went out on a limb getting it brand new, so we'll see. My aardvark books for this month were The Caretaker, which is upstairs because I have started it, The Girl with a Thousand Faces, and How to Fake It in Society. This is by KJ Charles. I've read a ton of KJ Charles, and I love KJ Charles, and this was the fantasy pick, so I like to try that. I can't tell you much about them. I don't actually remember. And finally, the last thing that I got recently that I wanted to mention was I got the hardcover of He Who Fights with Monsters from Athon. This one came from Books A Million, and I really love it. They did the thing that DECC did, where they've got a very funny inside cover. The dust jacket also has a print on the inside, and the end pages are also wild. I am about 45% of the way through this. Sorry, 45 of the... I truly cannot talk today. 45% of the way through this. I need to finish it. I started an audiobook a long time ago, but I have found, I think that the audio of this is not quite for me. So I'm going to finish reading this on my e-reader, which is dying. I am so upset. My Kindle is acting up, and I am like, I just need it to hold on. I just got a new case for it too. Look at the cow. I need it to hold on. Stay alive. So, oh my gosh, we're at 30 minutes. Let me go ahead and tell you what I'm reading. I am currently finishing The Dungeon Book by Gareth Hanrahan. I can't say his last name. I am so sorry. He is Finnish, and I know there is a specific way to say this, and it is not one that I can recall. I am almost done with it. I'm in the last 60. I'm on like 65%, so I'm finishing it. I really enjoy it. It's very fun, very funny. I am also reading Kill All Wizards by Jedediah Barry. This one's weird. You know what? I'm loving it. It's so funny. It is about a barbarian in a city of wizards, and then the wizards start to die. So naturally, the wizards is like, you with the sword. But it's told in this very formal and pompous style. It's weird. Also, I originally, full honesty, picked this up because the author's name is Jedediah. My husband's name is Jeb with a B, and people always confuse it with Jedediah. They're like, oh, is that short for something like Jedediah? And he says, no, it's long for Ja. So anytime I see Jedediah, it makes me think of my husband. So there is that. Physical books, look, I have made progress. The last time I filmed, I said this book is cursed, but it's not. I've made some progress on Agnes Aubert's Mystical Cat Shelter by Heather Fawcett. I'm loving it. I am getting to the interactions between the two main characters. It's giving me Howl's Moving Castle vibes, and I just want to dive into it head first. That's where we're at with that. And I am also working on a reread of Sword Art Online, the light novel. I know it's kind of an unpopular opinion to say that I really like Sword Art Online, but I do. I'm rereading that slowly with the same bestie that I read the Reincarnated as a Sword light novels. I think he's doing the audiobook ever so often. I'll check with him. Last time I checked, he was only at chapter 5, so I'm doing a chapter every now and again. I have read it before, so it's nothing like I am gritting my teeth trying to get through. So that is it. That's everything I've read the past few weeks, a little bit of a book haul, and everything that I am currently reading. I will let you guys go if you stuck through this with me. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys again soon.